if you could find the gentleman or woman that T.I. told on and put in jail,
talk your shit,
would you please hire your lawyer and pull him out of whatever cell that it should have been out by now, I guess. And if you could produce these people with a factual story and paperwork, I got $1 million for you. Cash dollars in a bag. If any of you could do that.
Let me speak.
And if not, shut the fuck up.
Talk your shit.
Or it gon'
yeah, that's it, nigga. That's it.
That's it.
Yo, nigga, that shit about to come out. No, nigga, that's it, motherfucker. That's it. That's all you got.
That's exactly what I was about to say. At some point, Atlanta nigga voice got to kick in. Man, don't be arguing with your lame ass nigga, man. Fuck them pussy ass nigga,
That's it, man.
You know what the fuck you did, bro.
But you know, I'm gonna do some real work.
I did do the video though.
But nigga,
I did do that. And guess what?
That's for community service.
Everybody done did some shit for probation. They ain't want to
community
I
service.
would do it again.
Community service. You ain't told them no goddamn about it.
Nigga, I had to go to Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't even drink.
But what I'm saying is, I went to. I had to do that too.
Teacher got mad at me. She said,
the
motherfucker said you could have 14 drinks a week and don't be an alcoholic.
How? You drunk?
Who?
He said, as long as you don't drink about 4 of them in the row.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS. Channel 2.
In a week, you gotta space
No,
them out.
but a day is in a week, so
in that class they said if you don't have
no drinks Monday through Thursday, on Friday you have 14 drinks, on Saturday you're an alcoholic.
You can't do that, Tip. That's exactly what.
Oh, child. Well, we all know that Boosie is not out of jail. And, you know, my thing is somebody needs to hit up T.I. and let him know that we need his services to get his friend up out of the slammer. Well, at first, Boosie's bail was at $50,000. Now it's at $100,000. So I don't know who Boosie then ticked off, but the people are definitely upset. They are not feeling him or his antics right now. Yeah, I mean the team is really looking at Boosie in another way. But one of our friends wanted to sound off. So with that being said, let's listen in.
When it comes to this Boosie and T.I. snitches shit, it feel like I done snitched on somebody, or wanna snitch on somebody, or gonna snitch on somebody. I ain't gonna take no side, but I'm gonna see it like this. Boosie called the dude turn gangster with him a rat because he snitched on his dead homeboys. Okay, he stood on calling him a rat because he snitched on his dead homeboy. Then T.I. bring it expediTIously, extra talking ass out and say he snitched on his dead cousin. On the gun case, that was the only time he corroborated, which led to Boosie calling him a rat too. Now, if I'm dead, snitch on me. But anyway, T.I. felt some type of way and this and that and threw a paperwork card. And I don't know the paperwork online. Well, what is you throwing a paperwork his car, stole all his stuff. He is not calling the cops. He said if his wife might call the cops if she there, but he is not calling the cops. Somebody broke his house or broke his car, stole his stuff. Now, bro, you know you're gonna have to file an insurance claim, right? To get your shit back. And you know what you need to file an insurance claim, right? You know you need a police report, right? You know you gotta call the police, right? You know you gotta go sit down in front of the police and write the report, write the statement, right? You know you lying, right? You know you don't call the police, right? You know you almost 50, right? You know you ain't got you acting like Suge Knight, right? You know we used to look up to y'all till the internet came out and exposed y'all some real goofies, right?
So let's talk about it. These are supposed to be gangsters in the community, right? One of my biggest pet peeves is Boosie is sitting up here and leading on this act. I mean, for heaven's sakes, you have children. I mean, and this is the representation that you want to lead them. This is the legacy. The only thing they're going to know is my daddy was a rapper and he kept going to jail. Let's talk about it. The only thing they're going to know is my daddy smokes the tree and he, gets down and dirty and he is about that life. Let's talk about it. Didn't he just go up against his one Boosie against the gays or something like that? But he was already putting his son up to getting fellatio. Let's talk about it.
You know this shit ain't real motivation, right? Right. But real talk though, if we gonna talk about snitch, you know like I know, you know a lot of dudes out here getting told but ain't being labeled a snitch because of their certain called status. But we ain't gonna speak too much on that though, cause when you wanna why? They ain't telling on me. Somebody did, but it wasn't them. But look though, just know when it comes to snitching, when it comes to life, just know this, bro. Ain't no love up in these streets, my nigga, so you can stop looking for it. People look at you bad in all kind of ways. And it's speaking for you to be loyal. Somebody help me, I'm lost. Looking out both ways, cause the niggas are close. Holla out, take a knife from out of my back, cause I'm finna cuss some bitches out. Sneaking the law, never don't break the code. I'm by the principle, I should stand. If you shake his hand, then holla this bitch, then you'll tell him that, man. I'm just saying, bitch, come for the bands and niggas falling for the filth. She wanna butt, little fence and titties, I get them and break the bitch when I built straight off the book.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about T.I. Let's talk about Boosie. Right? Because at the end of the day, there's something going on. These two are feuding. Let's remember the time when T.I. and his wife had gotten arrested. Did a little time and he gets right back out. So who's really are these guys working for the feds? Did the people catch on to the bull mess? And now they're trying to make it seem like, okay, well, Boosie never told. Right? Well, we will see what happened when all this plays out in court because he does have a court date. He's going to have to go back to court. And one thing about the feds is when the feds come, they've been doing their work. They picked this man up right after court.
What deal can you possibly make with the FBI with all these military weapons, silencers, homie? As many as he had with 7 convicted felons. What deal did he make?
My lawyer said, yeah, well, I can make everything go away if it was Tremels. After he had passed, I had a talk with him. What you say?
So let's talk about it because all this isn't making sense to me. T.I. is not a Crime Stopper, but he told on his cousin. He pinned something on it. These guys want to be so strong in the streets. and they want to bring the heat. But they keep finding themselves in these messed up predicaments, in these messed up situations. Let's be honest. T.I. has made the news on so many levels. I want to take a clip. I wanted to take a look at this clip. Give me 1 second.
The first snitch was the person who would point that hair, telling the people who were getting ready to run. That lifelong trauma will be passed down through your DNA of your sperm, generationally. And the same goes for the brothers and sisters and aunts and mothers and children who saw that. Right.
So what do you have to say about your son and the way that he goes out and act out in public? Can we talk about that? But a lot of people are saying that Boosie feels like T.I. ratted out on him. Let's take a listen.
Listen here. I'm gonna school y'all on the federal sentencing guidelines. You can be blind, crippled, and crazy. You know what I'm saying? If you break a federal law or get arrested for a federal law, there's nothing that can get you under that sentencing guideline other than cooperating with the government. I don't care if you got one leg, I don't care if you got a bad heart, I don't care if you're stage 4 cancer. If you commit a felony crime that carries 20 years to life, the low end of that plea, or the mandatory minimum of that plea, if it's 20 years, you're going to get them 20 years. I don't care what your situation, circumstances, I don't care your family member about to die out, you're going to get them 20 years. The only thing that can bring you under 20 years is cooperation. So I want to touch upon the T.I. and Boosie situation. From the day T.I. got sentenced, Boosie knew that T.I. did some type of cooperation. The only way, the judge can't say, listen, if you get sentenced, if you break a federal law, the judge's hand is tied. He cannot sentence you under the mandatory minimum unless you do something, you know what I mean? Or you got a safety band, unless you got a squeaky clean record where you can get a few levels knocked off. By having a squeaky clean record, never got in trouble, and then the government say, well, we should get the safety back. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is the first time ever get in trouble. But if I'm on the streets and a person comes and I listen to a person talk, and he say, yeah, man, when I was 18, I caught a felony. When I was 21, I caught a felony. Then when I was 25, I got arrested for 2 keys of cocaine, and the feds gave me 3 years. And the kid thing, I heard that. I knew he cooperated with the feds. You know what I'm saying? Because that mandatory minimum is 10 years and nothing less. And then if you got 2 felonies, it's going to be like 15 years, 8 months. It's going to be like, because after the PSI come back, so there's no way that you can have prior convictions and commit a crime with a 10-year mandatory minimum and get 3 years, 5 years. So Boosie knew T.I. did something. But now that Boosie knew to know through all these platforms and social media, now that the public is aware of what T.I. done, now Boosie got to get tough. But I understand Boosie, he's in the business of being tough. He's in the music industry. He's in the fabricated fake music industry that sells being tough. So Lil Boosie got to put on that act. He got to say, well, remember, motherfucker snitch, motherfucker, you know what I mean? And I don't know if Boosie ever stood up to like a federal investigation. Listen, a state murder case ain't nothing. I'd rather face a murder case in the state. You know, I guess Boosie faces murder cases or whatever. I'd rather face a murder case in the state than a drug conspiracy in the feds. You know what I mean? State cases ain't nothing. You know what I mean? In the state, that's all you gotta do is hush a victim, hush a witness up, and you good. But in the feds, it's a whole different ball game. And so Boosie's a little tough. I don't know if he ever, I may be wrong. I don't know if he ever faced a RICO or conspiracy. And then the whole thing changes there. I don't care if you got $1 billion. Listen, you can have $1 billion in a federal RICO case to take you to the ground. So So Boosie's in the business of being speaking tough, and like I say, I like entertainment, so I like to watch it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't take sides, I don't pick sides. I just watch it, and I make my kids aware of it. You know what I mean? How the streets go. But Boosie's in the business of being tough, so he's supposed to put his chest out. So, man, I don't fuck with no snitches. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at Jay-Z and the Desiree Perez, Jay-Z don't give a fuck. He knows Desiree Perez cooperated with the feds, but she still work for Rock Nation because the.
It gets deep, guys. It really gets deep. When we talk about this industry, everybody wants to be at the top. You know, we don't know what type of deals these people are making. Let's get into it, y'all.
Man, I need everybody to understand this is terrible news. Boosie, badass, has been arrested, apparently for possession of a gun, which is weird because they only got him because of an Instagram video of someone recording him, and they happen to see the gun in his back pocket. Now, you know, it is illegal for him to have a gun, things of that nature. Also, whatever the case may be, they're looking for him and trying to catch him slipping. And somebody caught him in the Instagram live video, and we have him, you know, getting caught up. And so they pulled him over and arrested him, and he's facing 15 years in prison. It's very difficult to have this conversation because Boosie is one of the only people left that have conversations that are real. And what I mean by that is he have you know, interviews where he talks.
All right, hold on. Okay, because people need to understand. People really need to understand that T.I. stood up for the community, and he was an advocate for Crime Stoppers. Let's get into it.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS.
Let's get into it.
Things that, you know, really go on in the hood. And he talks about how he made it out of that. He talks about how he experienced things, and you know, he talks about the real life side of things, you feel me? And it's not a lot of people that do that. And I need more people like that in the world. And he's one of them that's, you know, free, but now he's locked up and he's facing 15 years. And it'd be crazy for him to go to jail after all this, which is sad. You know what I'm saying? He's been trying to stay out of jail for a long time now, and they've been trying to catch Boosie slipping. And for somebody in this video right here, you see somebody, you know, captured him having a gun, which is kind of deep. So, you know, it's like they try to purposely set him up. And I just need everybody to, you know, show some love to Boosie and, you know, try to put some free Boosie shirts out there and some free Boosie hashtags because, to be honest with you, you know, he's trying to be a better person. He's trying to take care of his kids and do his best. And it's hard out there for a person like him who has the type of past that he has. But yeah, he's still striving and trying to go forward and being positive. He always talk about God. He always talk about positive things. He never try to talk about doing people dirty. You know, he got his own lifestyle that he probably lived that he need to probably work on, and that's his own personal business that, you know, we all gotta, you know, account for our own. But I just feel like it's unfortunate for him to be experiencing this right now. So,
well, unfortunately, my brother, this man knew that he was not supposed to be around any firearms or anything like that. So we have to sock it to him. You know, when this is my thing. Whenever you go to jail, Okay, you go to processing, you go to intake, they take your picture, and then you go in there, and then you got to get processed, right? There's a process every time you go. Okay, so if you went and you just went to jail, right? And you go to court and you win your case or you don't win your case, you got to follow those conditions that the judge has set for you. Anytime that you go around that, you are breaking the law. I don't care if you was scared for your life. I don't care if somebody was after you or whatever the case may be. If the judge's orders are you not to be around certain things, you cannot. That's just like if you and your old lady get into a fight, one of y'all go to jail. When you get out, there are going to be special conditions. You cannot go and see that person. You can't call that person. Even though you might want to send that person some roses, you cannot. If you do, that is a violation. And they have the right to come and pick your tail up. So when we talk about, people doing what they want to do, when you think you're gonna do what you want to do, and you're dealing with the police, if you're dealing with the government and the feds, the IRS, a lot of his fans are outraged. I mean, a lot of his fans are outraged. But let's talk about when 6ix9ine had gotten attacked at the gym. Let's hear what Boosie had to say.
I don't understand how you can criminalize yourself, give your boy the phone, and then do something illegal, and then brag all about it on the internet. Goons who jump 6ix9ine are already self-snitching and claiming their body. It probably would have been easy to find them because they already have a membership at the gym that they were at. But I'm pretty sure gang unit would have understood what ADR, not in our hood, meant right away. Now you got people like Boosie wanting to start a GoFundMe, not for 6ix9ine, but for the guy who caught 6ix9ine lacking, because he actually understands that this man's getting arrested for assault. Boosie believes we need to start rewarding the real ones and puts his foot down on snitches getting stitches. And
this is the culture. So we are sitting up here. He got upset because he's saying that 6ix9ine snitched and that this is what he deserved. Well, Boosie, you have to take in consideration that 6ix9ine has fans. And whether if you like him or not, or whether if you feel like he's a snitch or not, why even address it, Boosie, like you have children, you have a whole family. You're like 40-something years old. Let's talk about it. We have Charleston White. Charleston White wants to give his take. Let's hear.
Had Boosie stayed on death row long enough, he would have broke the code too. Because he had to break the code to sit down with the lawyer to beat the case. How does the lawyer have the information to beat the case if you ain't talking to your lawyer saying, no, I ain't did a thing. You have to work and cooperate at some point if you're in trouble. If you ever been in trouble with the law and your lawyer said, man, they offering you 10 years if you just sign right here. You said, I can do 10. Your partner might can't do 2. So when you take the plea bargain, you're admitting the guilt. And if it's more than just you, then you telling on us. The codes is fucked up. The rules are so fucked up. That's why we pick and choose who we enforce them on.
See? The guys, they pick and choose who they enforce them on, child. Where is the loyalty? So you out here advocating for everybody else. Who's out here advocating for you, Boosie? You have a lot going on. Let's be honest. And I'm not even going to go there because you already know what I'm talking about, Boosie. And see, when you reached out to me, see, I knew it was something. I'm like, ugh. See, I don't even want to be attached to anybody with that. Too much. Listen here. I don't like to deal with the law. And I don't like when people know that they are on papers and steady going out here doing crash dummy stuff. It's like it's given you're ready to go back. This is my thing. Somebody that keeps on in and out, in and out, in and out of prison, in and out of jail, in and out of prison, in and out. It's something in there that you like. It's something in there that you like. Let's talk about it. Keep in and out of jail. The whole schedule. Somebody to wake you up early in the morning to tell you that you got to get up. It's time for you to go to bed. It's time for you to come take your medicine. It's time for you to go outside and run around, get some of that energy up out of you, and come back in here and get locked up in this little 2x2 cell. These dudes commit crimes, go to jail, and want somebody to make it comfortable for them. Are you kidding me? You go out here and you commit a crime and you want to be comfortable up in there in jail. Most of the guys that go to jail, they all work together. They in there making spreads and burritos and pizzas, you name it. Putting their minds together. They're in close quarters. My love, you might as well marry you a man. You and they're building up relationships with men. But when you come out here, you ain't got no sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense to me. Tell me how these dudes go to jail. They're in there clapping it up, doing double dutch. They can get along in there, but they can't get along out here on the free world, in the free streets. You can't tell me it ain't nothing in there that they like. It's something in there that they like. Something in there. Maybe big Tyrone is hitting them from the back, hitting that spot from the back so they can get some get rights. Because soon as lights out, anything goes. Let's talk about it. My grandfather was in prison for murder, baby. He told me what goes on up in there. Let's talk about it. Just like these women running up in prison. They go up in there and they find him a woman and they gay for the state. It's the same way. These people running in and out of these prisons to get their rocks off. They living it up down there in prison. And then you got these informants. They look just like the people on television. I'm telling you, they look just like the people on the screen. Regular people. But they're informants. They are reporting back to the police. Let's go for a commercial. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of Tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-877. That's 404-577-TIPS.
Let's talk about it. Y'all got any tips? You got any information? Call it on up. How are you doing this and saying people shouldn't snitch? It's like you sitting up here trying to cause a war with people, with innocent people. How are we saying let's call the local police to share some tips, but you're rapping in your music about not snitching and stuff like that. Make it make sense. And then your homie had a bail of $50,000. His bail is to $100,000. T.I., the people need answers. We need answers. Uh-huh.
To conduct a traffic stop may be attempting to conceal firearms or illegal contraband.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me pull the story up. Give me 1 second. Because we're gonna take it back to I'm thinking that Boosie is gonna be a part of a RICO case. Those are my thoughts. I feel like he's gonna be a part of a RICO case. Uh-huh. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Boosie would go viral the past 2 years for the police's harassment of him being pulled over and searching his vehicles, even though he was not on probation or parole, with this most recent harassment situation yielding in the authorities finding a loaded weapon in the car.
Birth control pills or something. Can't get pregnant from me. Yeah, I got a lot of hoes in my house right now.
They treated the Jeep, man, who you think he's gonna be? Lil Boosie and the possible RICO case. We all know who Boosie Badass is, from his 2006 smash, Set It Off, to his famous collaborations like Wipe Me Down. B-O-O-S-I-E. Being on the wrong side of the law in 2009 for a shooting homicide of local rapper. Even during the court proceedings in that case, he would be charged with sneaking drugs into a federal facility where he would plead guilty. The whole world screamed free Boosie from 2009 to 2014 as he was facing the death penalty. But with a plot twist my channel is known for, Marlo would get on the stand and reverse his testimony against Boosie for Boosie, saying he had nothing to do with the homicide. Subsequently, Boosie would be freed in 2014 and complete his probation by 2018. With the state of Louisiana, its judges, DAs, and even police having a major hard-on for him and lusting for a conviction. Boosie being a real street and rap legend, he would stand on business and never tell on a single person, even when they...
But listen, can we say the same thing about T.I.? Let's go on a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. All right, guys. So give me 1 second as I go ahead and we're going to go on a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS.
Let's get into this content.
Testified against him.
Once you go that route, I dismiss you from my legend book.
Living by the original street code comes with its ups and downs, but Boosie knew what he was signing up for. Fast forward to the year 2023, Boosie has transformed his rap success into a major brand by producing movies, still dropping albums, and even a famous interview series with DJ Vlad. Boosie would go viral the past 2 years for the police's harassment of him being pulled over and searching his vehicles, even though he was not on probation or parole, with this most recent harassment situation yielding in the authorities finding a loaded weapon in the car.
Birth control pills or something. You can't get pregnant from me. Yeah, I got a lot of hoes in my house right now.
Despite multiple individuals being in the car, Boosie...
As bad as I want to advocate for Boosie, it's like Boosie is very problematic. And once again, it goes back to the rules. The rules that the judge set for you. When the judge set rules for you and you go outside of that, you're asking for trouble. You are saying, hey, I'm ready to come back into court and I'm ready for you to book me into the jail so I can get in there, so I can be around those men, so I can see some men being interactive, having encounters, because he seemed like that really got him going. Last time he told us that he seen 2 men, up in the shower. And he stood right there and he wanted to know, how was this person doing what they was doing? How could you take that? Let's talk about it. I just got a question. Happy Pride.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS.
He will be charged for the weapons, where he would bond out immediately and prepare his defense. Many will question Boosie's motives for his Vlad TV series because of the loud cries of the industry that Vlad was an FBI informant. But Boosie would pay it no mind. Probably Boosie's reasoning was that the police couldn't make him talk behind bars, Vlad couldn't make him talk outside of them. But the FBI would have a grudge to settle with Boosie, regardless of how many times he would beat local law enforcement at every turn. Now with YNW Melly's trial being the most televised and talked about since Tory Lanez and even O.J. Simpson, Boosie would show up to court daily in support of YNW Melly, to the shock and dismay of YNW Juvie's father.
That Melly was responsible for my son's death on October 26th when I first heard the story, because his explanation, when I finally talked to him in Cortland on a FaceTime, their response and how they were reacting, they showed no remorse.
So I just want to make all this make sense. IMW person was accused of unaliving somebody. Boosie goes to the court to support the man that is on trial for doing it.
Of course, they didn't act like they was grieving, like they lost a best friend or nothing.
Could it be Boosie just remembers his own trial, fighting the death penalty, and wanted to support another rapper going through it? Flying back and forth between California for his case and Florida's for YNW Melly would look a little fishy to anyone on the outside, especially while being on bond for a gun possession case.
Why would you put yourself in a position to where you are looked at? If you weren't a part of it. If you weren't a part of it, Boosie, why would you take your tail down there to that man's trial? And then you are on camera. I mean, you would think that you were at New York's Fashion Week. You had your fashions together. It was given, my baby just graduated, or let me go get my man. It was given the black woman I'm down here. Let me go down here to court and make sure everything is good for my man, my man, my man, my man, my man. Sometimes these dudes be a little my man, a little too much. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like I say, live in your truth. But don't be out here sitting up here fooling us.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS. Challenge.
Get into it. Get in close.
June 14th, Boosie would be in San Diego court for his weapons possession case, where the judge dismissed the case due to a lack of evidence. But before Boosie could even celebrate, the FBI arrested him before he could even make it out of the courtroom, leaving the world to speculate. Is Boosie going to be charged with RICO like every other rapper? Okay, first I want to say my heart goes out to Boosie.
Well, listen, when you in that type of lifestyle and you are surrounding yourself with these type of people, this is what happens. Yes. Yes.
His preliminary record checks revealed that Hatch has the following criminal history. November 29th, 2021, East Baton Rouge, Paris, bringing legal contraband inside the penal institution. Man, who you think it gonna be? And we back with another twist-turn story, ripped straight out the headlines with Boosie snitched on and full arrest record. On Instagram in San Diego neighborhood. San Diego KG.
Yes.
19. See the Hatch's pics on Instagram is identical to the handgun that was used by officers. According to the feds, the weapon was also seen in a video that Hatch was featured in, which was uploaded to YouTube shortly before Hatch was apprehended by the police. Hatch is currently being held in San Diego County Jail without bond and is scheduled to have a detention hearing Tuesday, June 20th. A preliminary hearing on Thursday, June 29th, and then the arraignment on July 11th. Read the probable cause statement in its entirety. The Instagram user's profile was tagged in the story of KP2. Market may utilize an Instagram handle of May. The officer recognizes the male as Little Boosie, or Boosie Badass, later identified as Torrance Hatch. At the time of review, Mama, He Alive 2.0 had a live story currently take place while the officers watched and recorded the live story. While watching the live story, the officer observed the 49th Street sign and the background to see figures, haired, and unknown male exclaim that they were live on the streets of San Diego. I was informed by SDPD officer that the area between 49th Street and Guyman Street in San Diego is associated with the neighborhood criminal street gang. Following review of Instagram profiles, the SPD officer requested airborne law enforcement unit able to fly over the area of 4900 Guyman Street. Based upon the description provided by SDPD officer, officers in Able located Hatch in an area of 49th and Guyman Street. Able observed Hatch enter the rear passenger seat of a black Mercedes SUV bearing California license plate 8NGG925. At the same time, SDPD officers in full police uniform and driving marked police vehicles were conducted saturation patrols in the Colas View area of the city of San Diego. Shortly thereafter, SDPD officers observed the driver of a black Mercedes SUV bearing the license plate GG925 talking on the cell phone as he was driving southbound on Euclid Avenue towards Market Street. As SDP units were driving eastbound on 4700 Market Street, they observed the driver of the same Mercedes SUV failed to stop at a red stop signal while making westbound turn on a 4700 Market Street area. Surveillance revealed that the Mercedes did not stop anywhere from the time it departed 49th Street until stopped by PD. SDPD officers attempted to conduct a traffic stop on the black Mercedes SUV, but the vehicle failed to yield and continued westbound on Market Street. The vehicle continued to drive slowly westbound on Market Street for approximately 1 block before coming to a complete stop. Prior to the vehicle coming to a complete stop, SDPD officers observed the rear passenger occupants had moved side to side. I was informed by the SPD officers that in their experience, when individuals who continue to drive at a slow rate of speed while police are attempting to conduct a traffic stop may be attempting to conceal firearms or illegal contraband. After the Mercedes finally yielded and upon approaching a vehicle, the officers observed 3 males in the vehicle. There was a driver, 2 occupants in the rear seat. The rear passenger side occupant was identified as Hatch. Hatch identified the other occupant and the rear seat as his security. Based on the officer's observation, while attempting to pull over the Mercedes and for safety purposes, the officers asked the occupants if there were any weapons on their persons inside the vehicle. Hatch claimed that he did not have any weapons, but that his security guard did. When asked where his weapons were located, Hatch's security guard pointed down towards the right side of his body. Officers observed the security guard had a black satchel bag worn across his upper body. Officers removed the satchel, asked the security guard to step out of the vehicle, and then placed them in handcuffs. Officers then asked Hatch and the driver to step out of the vehicle and placed both Hatch and the driver in handcuffs. During a search of the black satchel worn by Hatch's security, officers located the following: a black and purple HS product model Hellcat 9mm caliber pistol bearing serial number BB329274 and a magazine containing several rounds of 9mm caliber ammunition inserted into the magazine well of the firearm. Officers found 1 additional round of 9mm caliber ammunition in the chamber of the firearm. During the search of the vehicle, officers located another loaded firearm, a black Glock Model 19, 9mm, serial number BXPZ813, and a magazine containing 9 rounds of a 9mm caliber ammunition inserted into the magazine of the firearm. Officers also found 1 additional round of 9mm caliber ammunition in a chamber of the firearm. The firearm was located on the rear passenger seat, where the security guard and Hatch were seated. When officers approached the stopped Mercedes, the firearm was in close proximity to all 3 individuals inside the vehicle. Furthermore, a Glock gun box was located on the rear floorboard of the rear driver's seat. Officers also located a suspected marijuana joint in the center console of the vehicle. Hatch, then the security guard, and driver were placed under arrest for multiple firearms violation during a search incident. On Hatch's person, officers located multiple stacks of cash in his left pants pocket, totaling approximately $16,854, and a cell phone in his right pants pocket. All 3 occupants of the Mercedes were transported to the SDPD headquarters for further processing and investigation. SPT officers heard Hatch tell his security, "You told me they were in the bag." That statement demonstrated Hatch's knowledge of the firearms in the Mercedes. Following the arrest of Hatch, I reviewed several videos posted on YouTube regarding Hatch on the date of his arrest, including a video on the channel Hood Zone Productions. ED. The videos consisted of Hatch filming himself while smoking a suspected marijuana joint, as well as a video of Hatch with a firearm in his rear waistband. See figures 5 and 7. Hatch is seen filming himself and other unidentified individuals saying "neighborhood" repeatedly, making hand gestures toward the camera. Based upon my training experience, these hand gestures are gang signs associated with specific gangs. His preliminary record checks revealed that Hatch has the following criminal history: November 29th, 2021, East Baton Rouge, Paris, bringing legal contraband inside the penal institution. Like I said, prayers up for Boosie. But I'm a little mystified why Boosie's security guard had 2 guns on him and Boosie felt the need to bring a 3rd. Boosie was fortunate enough to have a $240,000 bond, which would not have been afforded to a regular person, especially in a federal case. Initially, it was reported that Boosie could face up to 15 years in prison. But since I've had a couple run-ins myself, I know for a fact that Boosie's only going to face at maximum up to 7 years. 3 on the low end. Now, with Boosie being on house arrest until trial, the best thing he can do is abide by all the conditions that they gave him. That means staying off the internet and especially blocking DJ Vlad's number and not doing any other interviews. I don't even care if it's even at your house.
So I want to ask you guys, do you guys think that it's a coincidence that Boosie is in a position that he's in right now after going on DJ Vlad's YouTube channel. They are saying majority of everybody, all the black, anybody that goes on there and visit with him, it never turns out good. It never turns out good.
Conduct a traffic stop.
All right, so let's go ahead and hear from someone else.
That's the only thing I don't agree with Boosie for. Like, you too tough for me, nigga. I'm 6'0", and I'm coming like that. You get what I'm saying? But you too tough. If you ain't gonna go with that play, I don't know. I don't know who taught you this shit. If y'all, hey, it ain't no one way to be no gangster, but on the dead homies. If I die and my boy fighting a murder or fighting a gun case and he say it was me, hey, he don't get he shouldn't face no type of consequences in the set for that. He didn't ruin nobody else's life by telling on me. He got the police up out of his business so he can keep on handling business. Fair? Is that fair?
There it is.
That's the only thing I don't agree with.
All right, so I'll go ahead and drop the link in case anybody wants to come up, sound off, give their opinion on the topic at hand. Do you feel like T.I. snitched on Boosie? And with Boosie making bail, and actually the first time it was $50,000, and then there was a motion put in place, and then it went up to $100K. So in the streets, some people would say, well, there's a price on your head, and so I don't know what's going on, but things are not looking good. If we really think about Atlanta, you got to think about the YSL, and all those guys, Gunna, they were in under the RICO. And the former mayor said that she was going to clean up Atlanta. By any means necessary. All right, so I want to thank you all for definitely coming out. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's protect ourselves. Let's be a blessing. All right, so long. Hello and welcome. Thank you all for coming by. I really appreciate you. Oh, absolutely. Please like, share, and subscribe. The Goddess Tulsa Show. Welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now is the time to go ahead and get ready for the show. We have some great news for you. Okay? We're going to have a great time. So I really, really, really appreciate you and your dedication to showing up. Gratitude.